Okay, we have for our ODCR disclaimer, all MBTA activities, including public meetings, are free of discrimination. The MBTA complies with all federal and state civil rights requirements preventing discrimination on the basis of race, color, national origin, limited English proficiency, and additional protected characteristics. We welcome the diversity from across our entire service area. If you have any questions or concerns, please visit mbta.com/Title6, which is spelled Title DI, to reach the Office of Diversity and Civil Rights. Next slide, please. If you would like to use closed captions during this meeting, there should be a little CC button right next to record. You can click upward and next to start video, stop video, like video settings and accessibility, and move the slider to adjust the caption size so that you are able to not only have closed captioning, but in a font size that is best for you. Next slide, please. If you are having technical issues tonight, please use the chat function. Our technical assistant labeled tech support will attempt to troubleshoot your problems and get back to you. Additionally, and I will remind you of this at the end of the presentation, we will have a question and answer period where you are able to give verbal comment, or if you would like to give written comment, I will read that from the chat function. So that is also available to you. Next slide, please. So here's what we're going to cover tonight. We're going to, again, go over a quick project overview and update you on what has recently been going on, construction, let you know what's on the horizon for the next 6 months, an update on the project schedule, and again, make sure you have the project contact information if you have any questions or concerns. And with that, I will turn it over to my colleague, Nathan Ray, the project manager.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Winchester Center public meeting. So what are we doing in this project? Well, it's basically a full station reconstruction. There was a existing station at Winchester, and with this new station, however, it's going to be fully accessible. What do we mean by that? Well, there's two high level as opposed to the low level platforms we had previously in the old station. These are two side high level platforms with canopies. There are 3 new elevators and 2 new ramps to service the platforms. And there's stairs as well. These stairs are covered. Some of the other elements of the station include new lighting, signage and wayfinding, security cameras, and other amenities for patrons. In addition, this project has already seen new tracks, ties, ballast installed along the railroad. Bridge plates and communication duct banks have all been part of this major project in Winchester. The total construction cost about $50 million. So just a bit about recent construction activity at Winchester Center. On the left here, you see steel structure being erected in the Averjona parking lot. We call this ramp section AA of the project. This is the south. Generally, we're working in a south to north progression in the project. So those who are familiar with the site will have seen steel going up in the south end of the project, and then you'll see more going up, going further north. So this is you'll see the crane lifting in the pieces for the ramp that will be there at final station completion. So there'll be a ramp accessing the platform at that end. So this is the steel for that. In the middle here, you see a picture of Laraway Road and the ramp that's going to be installed along Laraway for the inbound side. This is inbound ramp construction along Laraway, of course, in the very early stages, but you see it starting to take place there. And there's the salvage stone that in discussions with the town was requested, and the MBTA is having it reinstalled from the old station ramps. And additionally here, this is a picture of Waterfield and what we call the abutment, where the bridge kind of rests on either side of above the road. So there's some reconstruction to do there. There's heavy structural repairs, not just platforms and canopies, but some bridge work and associated abutments like you see here that are really necessitate being updated and redone due to just age, the viaduct being approximately 70 years old or so. So this is another shot on the left here of what we call the outbound side. This is the Aberjona lot where that ramp is going to be going there. This is more steel construction and erection there. The large pieces of steel being brought in by crane. In the background there, you see an elevator shaft standing. That is for the elevator that will service the area of the outbound platform by Aberjona. And then just a little further past that, you see some canopy steel already up. So that's what's going on up there. Maybe you can't see it from the ground, but that's things are happening there. And little by little, it's starting to look more like a commuter rail station again. Again, in the middle here, another shot along Laraway Road with the stone being pieced back in. We had to take the stone down by hand and store it, place it, and take it off site. And now we're in the process of bringing the stone back. And so this is a picture of what you see there. It has to be cut and reinserted back into to maintain the look of the station and the viaduct wall that was the intent in design phase. And then here finally on the right, there's concrete placement at the this is the columns for the elevator shaft here. The elevator shafts get encased with concrete, and then so this is kind of the process of that happening. There's lots of concrete, steel going on recently in the last month or so, and we are doing lots of other things at Winchester. It's becoming more and more of a busy site, and we're excited to see it starting to take shape. Project schedule. Well, construction work is ongoing, as you know, and we are committed to completing this project as efficiently and effectively as possible. That being said, there has been some delays that we want to share with you, the public. We, in the course of going through the earlier stages of construction, experienced a few setbacks. One of these was conflict over interpretation of plumbing code. Unfortunately, that necessitated two lengthy variance talks with the plumbing board. And unfortunately, this resulted in some lost time, some key lost time in the project. In addition to that, we've experienced some supply chain issues. These are, for the most part, behind us now, and we do have the necessary equipment and fabrication offsite of key parts and pieces that we need to complete the station. We'll see delivery of that in the next month. And so we've had those issues, and there's in the network of commuter rail, there are times when projects are affected by projects not even on the same rail line. And so such is the case with Winchester. It was affected by work going on, major work going on at a line neighboring to Winchester, a commuter rail MBTA line. There was major signal work going on that, all up and down that line, and many trains had to get diverted through the Winchester line. And so unfortunately, what that means is that there's delay and limited access to track level where a lot of the work needs to happen. And so it becomes a safety concern with so many trains, increased rail traffic. There's limited work that can happen during this time. And so we are about halfway through that that signal work that's going on in another line. And so within the next month, 5 weeks or so, that will end. And we anticipate having the usual track access that we could have had, that we've been having up to this point in the project. So what are we committed to? And we're here to tell you tonight is a station reopening, a partial station reopening. And that'll happen in July 2024. This will be the south half of the platforms with 2 elevators. That'll be the station opening in July. In addition, we will be returning areas of the parking in Aberjona and the Waterfield lots. And we anticipate at that time also completing the work on Waterfield Road. There's some utility work there, some water connections, electrical connections, sewer connections, things like this. And so that is what we are committing to for July 2024, a partial station opening. And so once the station, partial station opening is underway and complete, we'll of course be still working on the station on the northern half behind Thompson Street along Laraway Road and up by the Rotary. And so in November 2024, we anticipate having a full station opening. This is all the platforms and elevators. Laraway Road will be returned and parking returned in that area as well. So that's a bit about the project schedule with Winchester. So this map shows you what I was just explaining. On the left is towards Boston, on the right towards Lowell. So we anticipate in July 2024 opening to the public. And so that area in that light bluish color is the area that will be opened up first in July. That includes a ramp and a platform on the outbound side, as well as stairs. And then there's stairs and an elevator on the inbound side, on that Waterfield lot side. So that's the kind of the visual of the partial station opening. And then, as I explained, in the red there, post July 2024, you're going to have still work being done on that north part of the platform. That area of the platform will be blocked off. And so construction will be continuing, and we'll be working towards a November total station opening at Winchester. So a lot of this, this wasn't the original plan, as many of you are aware. We heard the desire from the town about parking, and we heard concerns about reintroducing foot traffic that's been lost due to the Winchester Center being closed. So this was a way that we could seek to get service back at Winchester Center as soon as possible, and while still being able to work on the station and just take the time that it takes to get a project like this done. So looking ahead for this fall, what should you expect? Well, you will see more continued steel erection going up. As I said, moving north around Laraway Road, you'll start to see that. You'll see electrical work, and as well as more concrete and plumbing work starting. Site drainage, things like that will be happening. Electrical is we're bringing in a new electrical service. That's a major part of this project. That'll be happening in the roads and areas around the station. We will be focusing on the Waterfield lot, and then moving further to the east, should be east side of on the Aberjona lot, and where this work will be happening, the steel. And a lot of our work efforts are really focused on the elevators. Those are a major, we call critical path item. They take a lot of time, and there's lots of components and of course safety checks that need to be done before an elevator is open to the public. So getting those elevator shafts started and as early as possible. You see the shafts are up already. Next step is to enclose them with glass, roof, of course, and then all the kind of machinery of the inside of the elevator can be installed. There will be expected continued noise from construction activity. There will be heavy equipment and machinery. The large and heavy demolition portion of the work is done by and large. There's still some chipping here and there that will be required, but the large demolition that's seen at the beginning of the project is complete. So we will be issuing construction advisories ahead of any scheduled night or weekend work if necessary. So upcoming construction, again, just to reiterate, at the platform level, the steel will be going up for the canopies, steel that will be holding the platform sections that get brought in pieces, electrical. The platform is what we call FRP, and that's the what we'll be installing there. Some sections by the end of the year. Along the Aberjona Waterfield sections, again, we call this our head house area, kind of the main station entrance, so to speak. The head house elevator shaft construction will be going on, plumbing, electrical roughing, pouring of the concrete stairs. There's some back of house rooms there, electrical room, communication rooms, things like that that need to get built. And then behind Thompson Street and up to the Quill Rotary side, you'll see plumbing or site drainage work, and then construction of a pier in the middle of the rotary there. There's a section of that platform that extends over the rotary, and so that platform is resting on a pier in the middle of the rotary. So that work will be continuing, taking place. And then along the Lairway section, we'll be constructing the ramps that you saw. Platforms and stairway are all part of what you'll see in the next little while at Winchester. So for project contact information, please continue to email or call the construction hotline. And then the project website is available there. And we look forward to any questions.
Thank you so much for the presentation, Nathan. Very, very informative, very helpful. So at this time, I'd like to invite everyone who is on this call the ability to either click the raise hand function, or if you would like to direct a written question, we have that available and I can read it out loud if you prefer not to speak. And I'd also like to take a moment to thank our partners in Winchester who have been very instrumental in getting this project to happen, both in the State House and especially at the local level. We really appreciate the people at the town of Winchester, and again, your State House delegation, who have tremendously advocated for this project and continue to work with us to make sure we can deliver this in the most speedy and efficient and least disruptive way as possible. It's been a tremendous help. So with that, I do see a hand raised. David Anderson, I'm going to unmute you. Okay, you should be able to speak now, I hope. Could you say something?
Hi, this is David Anderson. I've
Yes.
served on the working group for, I don't know, 11, 12 years now.
Yes.
One question I have is about the steel that's gone up for the ramp in the Aberjona lot and elevator and canopies, and whether it appears that the steel has gone up is the final finish color. My understanding was that when the shop drawing process was was underway, that the town and the working group would have some input on the color, as we did with the Wedgemere station some years ago.
Okay.
Can Nathan comment on that?
I'll be honest, I'm not sure if that's the final color or not. Mark, do you know what the color is on that steel?
And by the way, for those of you who don't know, Mark Thompson, who's our very talented design engineer with Jacobs, is going to be commenting on this.
Yeah, Nathan, that color there was the final color on the elevator shaft. The other pieces will be coated with concrete to make it appear that they're concrete structures in the ramps structures themselves.
Right, yeah. Okay, so, yeah, I mean, there's some painting left to be done there, Mr.
Yes.
Anderson, and there's, you know, we have architects working on it, and, you know, the color palette is something that's been vetted early by the design group. And so we're confident that it's going to be something that really fits in well with the town.
Okay. We have a written comment that came in from Peter Pulsifer. Apologies if I said that wrong. And he asked, what work remains to be done on Main Street, on the Main Street Rotary intersection, the intersection of Main and Church Streets? It looks like some steel work might be in progress.
Yeah, I think you're talking about the rotary there. There is we call it a pier where we're going to be resting a beam across the rotary at the end of where Lairway Road exits onto the rotary. There's a part of the platform is going to be going over there. And so there's a pier that's going to be formed and poured. And then there will be some steel work that will be lifted into place. Of course, that'll be during, we'll have to notify the town when that's going to be happening. That could either be weekends or nights. I'm not sure right now. That'll be happening going in the next few months. That big steel beam is not close to being ready yet, but you're going to see continued work in that road, in the middle of that rotary this fall, preparing that pier. And then once that we get to that end of the station, which will be, you know, post probably July 2024, you'll start to see that end of the station taking shape. So it'll be later on, not this year, you know, next spring or summer is when you're going to see more work on that end of the station.
Okay. David Anderson, I see your hand still raised, so I'm going to unmute you. Did you have a follow-up question or a further comment?
Yeah, I just typed it, but the Nathan's comment about the vetting the color with the design group, you know, I'm on the design group and it wasn't vetted with any of us. So, I mean, we had discussions about the that the color would be something subject to review by the town. We certainly worked well with the MBTA in years past on this at Wedgemere. But it was important from the beginning that the assumption was that the canopy steel and the other exposed steel would be shop finished rather than site finished, to ensure longevity of the finish. So if that's not the case, then it's important that we know what the specification is, because I assume the you know, maintenance of the station falls back to the town, and the town doesn't want to be repainting it.
Understood. So I think that seemed like an offline conversation that we, the T, should have with you, the design committee. And thank you for raising that. So I appreciate you bringing that up, and we will flag that as something we should reach out to your committee to have a further discussion. Is that all right?
That'd be great. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, so I did see another comment. Forgive me for a second. Alan Iden, again, forgive my pronunciation. Glass elevator towers look great in renderings. Who will be responsible for keeping the glass clean and inside the elevator cabins going forward?
Yeah, so
Go-
yeah,
ahead.
thank you. When the MBTA builds a station, there's generally memorandums of understanding that are signed with the town, whatever town that may be. The same applied here with Winchester. The MBTA is responsible for, I don't recall exactly the exact spaces, but in general, the maintenance, there's areas of maintenance that the MBTA is responsible for, and areas of maintenance that the town would be taking on. I don't recall exactly what was in and what was out. Elevators traditionally are handled by the MBTA, and the more the site work is, shall I say, the grounds. In this situation here with Winchester, there's not a lot of property. There's not huge area sidewalks.
How I would add to that is if it's in the station footprint and if it is the MBTA's elevator, in which case it is the MBTA who would have jurisdiction over it. And we do have a team dedicated to monitor stations. To kind of piggyback off of what Nathan said. Okay, I have another verbal comment. Deborah Johnson, I'm going to unmute you. 1 second. Okay.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Please comment.
Thank you. I'm dealing with a new computer, so I'm not used to it. My question is pertaining more to the parking.
Okay.
It's not a question entirely for you. It's also for the town, which I know you can't answer, but I'm on the Disability Access Commission. So we've been looking at the Waterfield lot, which will become an affordable housing complex in the near future. As soon as you guys are done using it for your staging area, they're going to start working there, hopefully. But we're looking at the disabled parking spots relating to how close the elevators and the, that area is. And unfortunately, that complex was not planned physically when you guys were working. So it's hard to look at all the, the disabled parking spots from the beginning of the project because it didn't exist. So my question is, what lots are specifically owned by the MBTA? Is that just the Lairway Road?
So before Nathan and Mark answer, because they know way better than me, I would like to qualify that unfortunately we don't have anybody from the town of Winchester on here tonight who can also contribute. So this is just what we know at this time. And so I just want to qualify that. But Nathan and Mark, you have way deeper knowledge than I do, so feel free to respond.
So the MBTA does not control or collect parking revenue at Winchester. Our property line is more or less follows a 10 feet off of the viaduct. However, so despite that, it incorporates some parking spots, but like I said, the MBTA does not control parking at Winchester. That's done by the town.
So in terms of any of those spots, that would be entirely the town's business. How many numbers and where they're located, that type of question.
You're talking about the Waterfield lot side?
Well, it pertains to both sides of the elevators plus Lairway, because you have access from various different ways. So we're talking about free parking lots.
Right. Yeah, I think a lot of that is code related. There needs to be a certain amount of accessible parking spots per number of parking spots. And then their location is obviously close to elevators and things like that. I don't know, Mark, if you can add anything.
Yeah, Nathan, like you said, the MBTA doesn't own any of the parking along Laraway, Waterfield, or the Abajona lot. But in the Abajona lot, there will be accessible spots, and that's east of the elevator on that side. And but that's the only place we developed those accessible spots. So the rest of the parking spots are all the town of Winchester's.
Perfect. Thank you so much for clarifying that. Just one other quick question. When you talk about your time frame, is that you talking about an average New England winter, or like a New England winter like we had last year, which was, you know, remarkably calm? I'm just curious, and you know, do you factor in, like, you know, how much play with that time frame?
Sure, yeah, no, you're right. We estimate, there's a certain number of days per month that we estimate our loss due to weather, when we plan construction. I don't know if it's 2 or 3, but there's a certain number of days that are always calculated in there that would be considered lost due to weather. So that's taken into account.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. And kind of in that vein, we did get a written comment from William Mansfield asking, when will construction be complete? Which I know was covered a little bit in the presentation, but Nathan, if you want to clarify again, the opening and when construction will be completed. I think that bears repeating.
Sure. So in July 2024, next July, we are committed to we're calling a partial station opening. And that will be not a full train length. It'll be certain, maybe 3 or 4 coaches operating on a section of the platform. And so there'll be elevators, ramps, stairs, like a normal station. Only half of the lengths of both sides of each platform will be open for service. So after July 2024, construction is still continuing up till November 2024, at which time we're planning and anticipate and forecasting that the full station opening will be complete. So in November 2024 is when the station will be finished construction.
Okay, thank you for clarifying that. I think that was helpful for a lot of people. Again, I would invite people, if they want to raise their hands to ask a verbal question. We do have one other written question from a person called SM. That's all I can offer. So whoever you are, SM says, will the ramps be ADA compliant, just in case the elevators were not working for a time? Thank you.
Yes, the ramps will be ADA compliant. They're built with the latest code for the slopes of those ramps. They're much more, they're not as steep as the ramps that were there before. So yeah, there will be 2 ramps there, one on each side. And
You have
so
the terrace, right, where it's at a very reasonable, it's at an ADA compliant grade, I believe, if I remember correctly.
Correct, yes. The slope meets all the ADA requirements with the pauses and the benches, and it's a switchback, so it comes back the other way. So it meets all those requirements.
Okay. So I don't see any other active questions. I want to give it another minute in case somebody's thought of something else, but I would like to remind, if we could put for my technical team, and again, I'd like to thank Terry, Billy, and Patrick, who are helping us behind the scenes. They are a valuable team. If we could put the project contact slide back up. If you think of something in the coming days, please feel free to reach out to us at the Winchester Station at mbta.com email address. It is monitored regularly. If you're concerned with construction, please call this number on the hotline. We will be coming back to you in the first quarter of 2024 with a project update on how we are progressing construction. So with that, I'd like to give it one more minute. If anybody has any questions, again, feel free to raise your hand. Feel free to write a question. I do not currently see any, so I'm going to give it just a quick minute because I don't want to be dismissive of anybody who may have some thoughts they want to share. again, to fill some time and space, while I want to wait just one quick second. The resources are on your screen. And again, I would like to thank the project team who is doing everything they can to bring Winchester the station as quickly and safely as possible to return it to service, because I know that is a big desire of the community, which we are very aware of, and we appreciate the strong relationship we've been able to build with Winchester throughout this project. It's made this process much stronger. Okay, I do have one more question on the chat from Joan Slavin. There will be ramps and stairs. So that's more of a question. It's, will there be ramps and stairs? And again, I think Nathan, as you're speaking to, yes, there will be ramps. They will be ADA compliant, but I'm guessing what she's getting at is not only will there be elevators, but if you are able-bodied, you will also be able to use stairs as well. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there are
stairs, ramps, elevators. Those are
stairs,
the ways.
ramps, elevators. So there are a variety of options for how you can get up to that platform. And do last call, as they say. Last call for the next couple of minutes. All right, well, with that, I very much so appreciate all of your time. Thank you for joining us this evening and listening to this project update. This deck will be available separately on the project webpage, along with a recording of this meeting, which I very much so appreciate you all participating in. And we look forward to bringing you an update in the first quarter of 2024 on this wonderful project. I hope you have a lovely evening. Thank you.